Hi, Levi from the InterNACHI marketing department again. Just going to quickly run through a logo. This one's fun because this is actually a really recent logo. I'm going to try and do something a little bit different today, and that I'm going to try and take the logo all the way through the process, including how the logo gets integrated into the marketing later on. All right, so we're going to look at Superior Joe's home inspections today. One of the first things that's interesting about this logo is that I used kind of a italicized serif font. A serif is essentially just these little caps on the ends of the letters, but I used an italicized serif font up here on the top to contrast with the bold, simple, all cap of Joe's. Again, the reason I do stuff like this, that I pick fonts and compare and contrast fonts, is the way that the fonts work together. Superior in italics kind of emphasizes the word. It gives the word kind of some class, like it emphasizes the word superior, and just the font pairs well with Joe's. I like the way that the angle of this P kind of sort of works with this O here. So that's just a quick run through on the fonts. The actual logo is just the J from the Joe's. I took this kind of swoosh of like an upward angle to kind of reflect like an upward trajectory, or to reflect the idea that the service is superior. At the placement of the InterNACHI certified here, again, I'm like looking for the way space works together and the way it's integrated. And so the InterNACHI certified is stacked here, and it kind of like serves to reinforce the I over here at the end of superior. It just works well in this space. And I like the way that it was like a little bit different and unique. The reason that this logo works, again, and the reason that it holds up to scaling and looks good when it's small, is because I paid a lot of attention, and I'm always paying a lot of attention to the spacing in the design. All of the spacing in a logo and how much space there is really important. So I'm not just sitting there and like typing in a font. I'm often expanding a font, which means breaking it apart and then manually looking at all of the spacing between the letters and making sure that all of the spacing looks good and that the logo looks good when it's small. All of that is just attention so that the logo holds up when it scales down on a business card. I talked about this briefly actually in the color article that we have on our site that I post with all of our free logo designs. Red can be a negative color if it gets too hot. It can start to look like a warning signal, which isn't necessarily a great thing for home inspection when you're trying to calm people down. So I muted this red a little bit, so it's a warm color, but it's not like an alarming red. Another thing that works with this logo, Superior Joe is kind of a play off of the expression "not your average Joe," so the name is kind of clever to begin with. So the inspector clearly was thinking through their name and how it would read. And Joe is nice because it sounds like an everyday, like a guy that you would want to interact with. It's a friendly name. All right, so Ian set up this brochure, did a great job, but here are some of the ways that the logo works in the final design. The J icon is actually repeated as a pattern throughout the graphic. It's simple enough that you can just take it and just repeat it throughout the background of the pattern, and it kind of gradiates and fades in and out, so it has this nice, so even the background of the card plays into the logo and reinforces it. The same thing happens over here. Again, he's using the colors to emphasize certain things. Like on the front of this brochure, he's putting the phone number and the contact information in black. Black and white are the highest point of contrast, so it's going to draw all of the attention to this information, which is just important and thoughtful. Again, back here with the J is reflected on the back of the card. It's a subtle detail, but it's a way that everything starts to look cohesive because the logo informs everything that everybody else is doing. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. As always, you can get a hold of us, ask questions at marketing.nachi.org, and thank you for your time.